So this is an update on trying different ammo in the Ballistic Advantage 22 long rifle barrel. Last time we shot this, it was outside, 33 degrees, no wind, but quite cold. Rifle was cold, ammunition was cold, we were cold, and that was the previous video, probably listed as Ballistic Advantage Barrel Part 3. I think we got good groups out of that. So I decided to try to shoot indoors on a 100-yard range that we have here close to home. Got there, the place was totally packed, and you had 1 hour to shoot. So I did my best to be prepared for that. So I had 9 rotary magazines ready to go and a specific firing order. And so when I got there and they said there's 1 hour on the clock for shooting because it's so busy, I proceeded to do it as accurately but as quickly as I could. And this is the results from that. After some initial foulers and making sure we were sighted in, I started with SK Standard Plus. It produced a couple good groups. These are all at 50 yards underground in a big giant tunnel. Trying to keep everything with similar lubricant in order of fire, I moved to the SK semi-automatic, which is quite successful in, try to hold this still so nobody gets seasick here. Quite successful in the Bergara BMR for NRL 22. Decent group here, 2 groups, probably some SD issues there. 5-shot group. This is absolutely astounding. 4 in one hole and 1 slightly off. Could not ask for any better. So we know with the right ammo, this barrel is capable of 50-yard single hole shots. Shot another group, SK semi-automatic here. This one went wonky. 3 out of 4 are okay. 2 out of 4 are great. 1 out of 4 is exceptional. Went to the SK rifle match, did some fouling, had some stringers here. Again, could be standard deviation issue on this. I was shooting from a Harris bipod on an Arca rail with a sandbag. Moved over to the next 2. They drew right in. Not bad at all. Switched to the dreaded Eley Ultra because I have a box sitting around. Figured I might as well shoot it. Everybody has horrible results from it. These aren't great results, but same base type lubrication, figured I'd give it a shot. So it's less than ½ an inch. Without the flyer, this is less than ½ an inch. So taking my time, trying this at 100, maybe this stuff does shoot better further away. Next went to the Eley semi-automatic bench rest Outlaw. Here we had some foulers without the flyer, less than ½ an inch. Point of aim at the top versus point of impact. Great group there. Of course, some of you guys might be used to shooting stuff like this all the time, but on a budget, trying to be responsible, I think these are all pretty good so far. Spread out a little bit here, but center to center measurement still pretty darn good. Without the flyer, it's still greater than 0.5. But overall, produced 1 exceptional group and 1 good group. I think we shot more of that later when I had a little bit of time left over. Eley Contact, I've had great stuff with this. I mean, I've actually shot less than 1 MOA at 100 out of the Bergara BMR on this. This is switching from the Eley lubricant that's very similar to the SK lubricants on their rounds, and this is to a paraffin based. So I expected the Fowlers to be somewhat wonky. It actually drew in just a little bit here, so that was nice to see. And I've had much better groups when I'm just solely shooting this. It's cheap ammo, so not disappointed there. Continuing through with the other magazines, moved to RWS Target. Nothing to write home about. One on the left without the flyer, less than 0.5, and that's a nice little 4-shot group. Here, we've produced this smiley face on the previous, well, this is more of a frowny face, on the previous shoot with this particular ammunition. That's quite interesting. TAC 22 didn't do so well today, and I'm not sure if it's because I was just had 1 hour to lay down all of these rounds and I wasn't taking my time. I'm not sure, but what I have learned is these targets underground in minimal lighting, that light green and light red or light orange really diffuse out, and it's difficult to keep your the center dot on your scope centered in that. A lot of eye fatigue from this. I've got to find a different target to use indoors. Outdoors, not too bad. Indoors, those things will burn your eyeballs out. TAC 22 black box, little bit better, not that great. Without the flyer over here, less than 0.5. These outdoors shot much better, and we'll see that on a separate video when I do direct comparison of round impact groups between outside and inside. We were in no hurry outside. Norma Match shot better outside as well. Less than ½ an inch without the flyer. Moved down and shot 1 round of contact. Probably came back and shot this later because I literally had only 5 rounds left. Did not think to bring any more along, but other than that flyer, and a lot of times I've seen this first one shooting low left, but once you start shooting contact regularly, everything pulls together, which you can see up there. It's less than 0.5. I did not measure it out, but if you slid that group down a little bit, you're probably at what, 0.3 on a measurement. Eley Club, without the flyer, less than 0.5. For a fouling set here, not bad, 0.35 by 0.26. The lateral stringing, all me. I realized that I had my forefinger dragging on the stock, which was pretty much probably creating that, which I learned at the Appleseed course not to do, but I found myself doing it a couple times here. So I need to begin getting back to practicing those fundamental skills. Eley Target, not too bad. Less than ½ an inch. And I just, on the website for the Ballistic Advantage barrels, there's nothing that says they guarantee less than 0.5 at 50, but they do say on the website that all barrels are guaranteed less than 1 MOA at 100. I can only assume by that that's attributed to the 22 barrels also, but I'll do some additional research on that. Next round, again, 5-shot group without the flyer, really nice and tight. Move next door, nice group here, 0.327 or 0.379 by 0.212, center to center. Down here, we're greater than 0.5. Next, we move to Eley Team. Now we're in out of the paraffin type lubricant. We're moving into the beef tallow and beeswax. Team really shoots well out of the Bergara BMR in the summer. Hadn't been shooting quite well as in that particular gun when I hit really cold weather, and could be because of the lubricant type. In 30-some degree weather, beef tallow and beeswax is pretty sticky and hard. But there was a promising fouling group on the left, tightened up on the right. We shot more of this later because I had a sense that this might do better the more it was shot. Moved to Eley Match. It should shoot like this for what it would cost to buy some of that. I had 1 box, thought I'd give it a shot. Not bad fouling group, nor secondary group. Honestly, I shot this at the very end. I don't even remember what this was. It could have been match. I did not write it down on my note paper. Could have been match, but I can't be sure. Then to finish it all out, I moved back to team and shot some really decent groups with team at 50. I'm bearing down on the hour right now, so I'm in a major hurry before they just come down and tell me to get out of the lane. So not quite dissatisfied with these at all. With appropriate time, probably could have been better. With a better target that didn't diffuse in the light on the target 50 yards away, that basically truly gave me serious eye fatigue and eye pain. Might have been able to do better with that. But again, it still replicated very decent groups. Here it's spread out a little bit. I was winding down. I was tired of shooting. You figure by now I'd been through 120 rounds just on this page alone. On the first one, 120, so that's 240 rounds. And on this particular target, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 55. So we're looking at, close to 300 rounds in an hour. That's a lot. That's a lot of work on the gun itself. Only had one misfeed in there, and I think it was Eley target. That was it. And it seemed to be a light round, and it just did not have enough punch to clear out the brass from the gun. So I don't know. They seem to be good with the parameters I had to shoot within. What are your thoughts? And later on, I'll cut these apart and marry them up with the targets from outside and do a direct comparison. But again, another test through the Ballistic Advantage barrel.